Hello, welcome back. I'm here again to review another high-tech gadget. This time it's, I guess, in toy form, but it might still be useful, and hopefully we'll find out by the end of this review. So what is it this time? Well, it's another spy gear item, and this, I picked this up because if you see up here in this corner here, it has written True Night Vision. So I thought, why not? But before we go into this particular one, this is about, I think, the third, if not the fourth, night vision gadget that this toy company has come out with. First one was a big binoculars looking thing. Then they went to one that was looked kind of like a spotting scope. So it's a monocle, one eyepiece. And that one wasn't too bad, a little smaller. And I guess this would be the third one, in which they evidently are pretty proud of, calling it Ultimate Night Vision. So we'll see if it lives up to that claim. So anyways, before we go, I'll just take a quick look at the box as we normally do. It promises you can see up to 30 feet in dark. And we already talked about the True Night Vision. This brand also had, I guess you could call it, some fake night vision, which really were just glasses with either red or green LEDs on them. So just LEDs on glasses, that was it. So I guess that's what this is not that. So anyways, going around, it takes three AAA batteries, and then on the back, I'll give you a little idea of this particular setup. So this time around, it's a pair of glasses with a flip down reticle type deal, as you can see here on the left, and the little down captions down here. It has a flip up, so you can go back to using both eyes normally and then flip it down when needed. And again, it's one eye, not both, and it has an adjustable head strap. So okay. And as far as manufacturer, this is Spin Masters. If you see it down there, Spin Master, and so it's patented in America, made in China. So, all right, let's go ahead and dive into the box. All right, so I got the item out of the box, and before we go to that, just talk about the packaging and whatnot, and what came with it. So here's the box. All the items basically on the top portion, the portion you could see while it was in this, and there was nothing down here. That was just empty space to make the box bigger, perhaps to give it more shelf presence or prevent shoplifting, maybe, I don't know, or maybe both of those. Anyways, and it did come with instruction manual, or instruction sheet, I should say. Pretty self-explanatory, but still good to have this nonetheless. All right, now onto the item. First, we'll talk about the glasses, which in this case is more of the rig that you use to strap this to your head. And, well, first off, I was worried that these would be really stiff, but they're actually pretty soft, so that's good for, I guess, extended wear, right? And, okay, and also I noticed these, I thought they'd just be like a frame, but you actually, if you can see the reflection, there's actually lenses in there on that eye, and if I can get to work here on this one, you can see, well, there's also a lens there too. And that plastic is quite clear. I was pleasantly happy by that. Some of this cheap plastic, it doesn't have the best optics, but so far these look pretty damn clear, so that's good. Now, the main unit, here we go. Here it is. Now, as you probably have already guessed, this is essentially just a camera with infrared LEDs on the front. So you can see the LEDs there. You can see the camera aperture in the middle. And let's quickly go over the sides. There's the battery compartment, 3 AAAs. You open it with one screw, which I've already done. The bottom, no controls, nothing of interest really. Top, one control, basically on-off. Can't get much simpler than that. And on this side, no other functions. So before we get to the back, just go to the front again. Again, 3 LEDs, infrared, and I'll get back to that in a second. But let's go to the back. You have this. Now, there's actually a lens back here. I'm sure you can see the reflections in that. And this lens is actually concave, so it kind of bowls in just a bit. So maybe that helps with the optics. Well, I guess we'll find out. And on the top, there's this connection point, which has these 2 little nubs that go in and out, so they're spring-loaded, which is good because that allows you to snap it on and snap it off multiple times, unlike some cheaper units where once you connect it, you can't get it apart without breaking it. So that was a nice touch. Now, talking about keeping this detached from the glasses, I already kind of tried it out a little bit, and I had this idea of, let me just use this, like I did with the one before this, which was, like I said, a spotting scope monocle type setup. So I went ahead and tried that, and, well, it does work, but I figured out why these are actually quite important. If you use it just like this, what happens is all the light from the screen, because yes, there's a screen in there. Again, remember, it's basically like a kind of a real simplified digital camera. Anyway, so the screen shines all the light, and it was bouncing off my head. And so if you were trying to be sneaky, you would totally give yourself away because your whole head would be illuminated, or at least your eye and half your face. So that's what these do. You can see how this mounts quite flush, and then there's this whole cup which takes any of the light and keeps it sealed around your eye. So these aren't exactly unnecessary. They actually are for more than just holding it to your head. Okay. Alright, so here we are with the lights off and the units on, so it's directly in front. Those are the 3 LED IRs, or IR infrared, and you can see. You get this 3-pointed triangle thing, which is all too reminiscent of Predator and his targeting system. So I guess if you want to pretend you're the Predator and you have a plasma caster or whatever, there you go. But, so there we go with the night vision and concealment. This isn't really, I guess you consider the true night vision that uses a different type of system. This uses light, so people will be able to see you. So if you're running around trying to be all sneaky, they're going to see these 3 dots and know exactly where you are. So that's I guess the one downside to this simpler and cheaper version of of night vision using infrared. So Alright, so you got to see it pretty much firsthand of what it looks like when you use this. And granted, you're essentially seeing what a camera is taking a picture of what another camera is seeing, so it's not quite as clear as if you were actually had your eyeball in there. Pretty much, it's what you saw is pretty much how it looks. So that being said, that kind of brings us back to the same spot I seem to find myself in every time I do these reviews of spy gear, gadgets / toys, is overall they have all these cool ideas like this, and then I even have what was a little remote control tank that has a camera on the front of it, and you can kind of roll that in. But no matter how cool the device is, it all falls down at the same point. And the weak link in the chain for all these camera-based devices, well, is exactly that, the camera. With its low quality, no matter how cool of the setup they got going, it just kind of still looks like because of the camera's quality. Now, I understand this isn't supposed to be real night vision. I mean, you're probably thinking, well, go get a real night vision camera if you want, or a real night vision scope. And yeah, I have those. But I'm talking more of a point of view of this manufacturer. Think about, we have in our cameras, 20 plus megapixel cameras in the back of our phones. I mean, to step this up into the megapixel range would really, what would the cost be? Maybe $5 more, if even that. And at that point, this would go from, those are kind of cool, but they aren't that clear, to, yeah, that's awesome, it works, and it's fun for the kids or whatever. So if I would say, come on Spy Gear or what is this, Spin Masters. Let's step up the game, get the camera at least in the megapixel range, and I mean, it won't cost you much. You'll probably still see all the same sales you were going to get anyway, and your customers will be happy, and it'll actually be something maybe slightly more than a toy. At this point, I have to say, because of the camera's low quality, it is just a toy. And I'm starting to see the same camera in all the different gadgets, whether, like I said, it'd be a remote control plane, tank, goggles, whatever. It's always the same low quality camera. Kind of makes all the rest of the innovation kind of pointless. And I think for a few more dollars on the price tag, I think customers would welcome the improvement. So, but other than that, does it work? Yes. Will kids like it? I'm sure. And especially if you have never had infrared night vision, this isn't that expensive to step into it, and at least the young one or the curious mind will get an introduction to how it works and the basic mechanics. And of course, this is quite basic. But anyway, other than that, it's pretty decent. It's a fun little thing, and if you can pick it up for, under $40, it's not too much of a dent in the wallet. And, if you even have a couple hours of fun with it, so be it. So anyway, that's that.